Welcome to Jersey's Best Podcast, a weekly deep dive into everything that makes New Jersey spectacular, bizarre, beautiful, sometimes annoying, but always the best. My name is Jeremy Schneider. I'm a food and culture reporter for NJ.com and the Star-Ledger, and I'm your host. But I'm going to start this episode with a warning. Things are about to get ugly, like breathtakingly ugly. This week, we're getting into all those Jersey places that aren't exactly easy on the eyes. The spots that fuel those terrible and false stereotypes about us being the armpit of America. They might be ugly, but we New Jerseyans still find their inner beauty. Because even though we can brag about our mostly pristine beaches, majestic mountains, and rolling farmlands, we also have a unique appreciation for the ugly things in New Jersey life. We revel in them. We find comfort in them. Because what gives you more peace? Gazing into the Patterson Great Falls or seeing the graffitied, rusty turnpike sign that calls you home? Today we will be counting down New Jersey's 10 most breathtakingly ugly places, the otherwise loathsome locales only New Jerseyan could love. Joining me today is stand-up comedian Nick Fierro, a man who sees the beauty in all things New Jersey, warts and all. Nick, welcome to Jersey's Best Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Nick, if anyone's been to a New Jersey stand-up comedy show in the last few years, chances are you've seen Nick's comedy. The guy's hilarious. He's opened for New Jersey legend Chris Gethard. He even played the Jersey Devil at a live taping of New Jersey is the World. And Nick, I've seen your stand-up 100 times. It's hilarious, fantastic, never gets old. And you capture New Jersey's beauty, or lack thereof, in such a hilarious way that it's making fun of Jersey, but it also isn't. It's truly appreciative, and your appreciation really shines through. Why do you love ugly New Jersey so much, and why do you think New Jersey loves it so much in general?
I think we like it here because we can play it like an instrument. Like, you know what I mean? Like you ever hear a bad flute player, but then you hear a good one? Like in the right hands, ugly can be a wonderful thing, and I think we know how to deal with it really well just because we're in a weird part of the world. It's super congested. It's overcrowded. It's crazy. It's got a lot of grit to it, but we kind of know how to navigate that. I think better than most people, where we're not as taken aback by it. And I think we're just better at it.
I completely agree. And I think the beauty or ugly, whatever you want to say here, we're surrounded by it and we're in on the joke a little bit. Because look, New Jersey's beautiful. And I tell anyone that hasn't been here, don't believe the stereotypes. We're not the armpit of America. The beaches are awesome. The state parks are awesome. The views of New York are better than the views you get in New York. So don't get it twisted. We're beautiful, but there is some really ugly stuff here. And it's part of our inner DNA, part of our culture, and I'm so proud. I'm proud of it. I know you're proud of it.
Very, very proud of it. I think more proud of it's something like it's ugly, but we find an appreciation for it that other people wouldn't. Where it's something that I think the point we're trying to make is something that's so ugly that it's beautiful is like if you were to show it to someone that wasn't from here and they were like, ew, you'd understand, but you'd be like, you're also wrong.
No, yeah, I mean the things that we're gonna get into some of these spots, and there's spots that if I showed them to someone, I totally get why they didn't get it. You kind of have to be from here, and that leads me to my next point. I feel like the ugly things in New Jersey are kind of like that one friend in the group that we all make fun of, but if you're not in the group, don't talk shit about him. Like, that's our guy, that's our friend.
Very protective of it. Yes.
It's like, yes, that might be our disgusting shipwreck, but it's our disgusting shipwreck. It's part of us, and I really love that about us. We love our boardwalks, but some of our boardwalks are really ugly, and they're surrounded by or they're near decaying cities, or maybe we built a sports complex on a thriving ecosystem.
Yes, we did,
and it's next to a major highway. Maybe there's a gentleman's club under a bridge.
There definitely is, and
we're gonna talk about that. But let's get down to business. We've done some extensive research for this list, and we've both spent enough time in this beautifully ugly state. On that note, where are you from, Nick?
I'm from Totowa. My dad's family's from Patterson. My mom's family's from Passaic. So I kind of like went through that triangle growing up of like bouncing around from here to there.
Would you call that area ugly?
No, because I grew up every Saturday. My dad would take me to the Great Falls, and we would like wander down into the bottom of it where there was a rusted out car forever. And I remember growing up and watching it get slowly more and more like less of a car, just shrinking. And it was by a gigantic open like drainage pipe that you could walk through. As a kid, that's the coolest thing in the world. Like if you're a little kid crawling all over that on a Saturday is awesome. Being up to your knees in the Passaic River while people are fishing in it is awesome. Like, yeah, it's pretty great. I would not call it ugly. I would understand if someone else did.
And that's the dichotomy. The Great Falls, beautiful, beautiful waterfall, decaying car at the bottom. That's welcome to New Jersey, baby. So here we go. It's time for the 10 most breathtakingly ugly places in New Jersey. Let's crown them. We're gonna go back and forth. Nick, what's number 10?
All right, number 10 on the list is Ragtime, a gentleman's club in Woodland Park, New Jersey, on the Passaic River, conveniently located pretty much under a bridge. I don't think sunlight has ever shone on this roof. I really don't. Fantastic, beautifully ugly place.
Because nothing says romance like being under a bridge and near the Passaic River.
For context, I did start going there around the time the movie Sin City came out.
Okay.
So like in the movie Sin City, Marv is like at the like the weird like roadhouse kind of like Coyote Ugly spot, and I romanticized that kind of like, yeah, I'll just hang out at like a strip club. I'll just be one of those guys. And I had a long coat. All right, it was 2006. I had a long coat and a grisly demeanor, but I was also like 140-pound, like squeaky voiced kid. So I like hang out at this place. It was a place I found that I would just hang out at and get beers.
I was gonna say, knowing you don't strike me as the strip club type, but then again, who does? I've never been to Ragtime. I love the name, historical. I Googled it. I did not visit for this podcast for work reasons, but looking at it, it kind of looks like a boat. Like just the exterior of the building, it's an odd looking like the bottom is kind of brown and then there's the roof, and I couldn't tell if it was a boat or a building when I first looked at it.
Gun to my head, I could not tell you what the actual building itself looks like because I've only been there at night and you can only see the hand painted wooden sign that says Ragtime in like old timey letters. So you wouldn't know right away what it was. It looks like an ice cream store almost, but like I couldn't tell. I don't know what the building looks like, but the inside. The reason I started drinking there was just to drink there. I would just hang out.
It was just a bar.
Pretty much.
You weren't there for the dancers.
Sometimes there was eggs.
Eggs.
Like not in the morning either. Like this is like 11 at night. There'd be scrambled eggs in a chafing dish.
If there's one way to get Ron Swanson to a strip club, it's to get eggs there. So maybe Nick Offerman's there. What I love about Ragtime, having never been there, is that 10 miles down the road is Satin Dolls, aka Dabing, which is a strip club that I have attended for work. During COVID, they did outdoor dining, and I had a delicious chicken sandwich at Dabing, which is a place that I've found this out the hard way. They really don't like it if you call it Dabing. They're like, we're Satin Dolls. I'm like, but no one knows you as you're Dabing. That's you. Otherwise, you just be another strip club on a New York or a New Jersey highway. So. Alas.
I had to stop going to Dabing because like 3 times I brought a friend there and they went to high school with somebody who was dancing and we had to leave.
That can get awkward.
Yep, real awkward.
I would imagine. I've never seen a high school classmate at a strip club, but
this was well after we were in high school.
Okay, good. That makes me feel a little bit better. What also makes me feel better is number 9, which will be a spot that and for the record, all these spots we're listing, we love them. This is, again, the whole subject of this podcast this episode is these are places that are so ugly, they're beautiful. And I love them. And I really love the next spot, Rutts Hut in Clifton. You can tell I love Rutts Hut because that is my shirt behind me. That is not my only Rutts Hut shirt. I love Rutts Hut. It's my favorite hot dog in the world. It is the hot dog spot that converted me into liking hot dogs because, not fun fact, I didn't like hot dogs as a kid. Love them now. Love Rutts Hut. A Rutts Hut Ripper. If you show that to a person and say, would you like to take a bite of this? If they have not bitten it, they will say, if they haven't tried it yet, they'll say no because it is shriveled. It looks like a hot dog that's been left on the roller at 7-Eleven for far too long. And that's because they deep fry it and that makes it crispy and delicious and ugly. I'm sorry. Rutts Hut, I love you with all my heart, but I gotta be real. And then you're topping it with this yellow relish that my friend recently said he thought it looked like mango chutney.
Yeah, it's an odd color. It's an odd color, and the hot dogs look like a witch's finger. It's pretty crazy.
A witch's finger. That is what I was looking for. Thank you. I was thinking about this last night. How do I describe it best?
I was thinking about hot dogs last night too. I've never burned my mouth on one. Might be the only food that I've never burned my mouth on. Perfect temp, no matter what.
Now, how do you feel about Rutts Hut?
Love it. Are you kidding me? My mom always said they used to do soft shell crabs in the backyard in the summertime.
I love Rutts Hut. Rutts Hut has these, and we've written about this. Rutts Hut has a menu you don't know about. I mean, or you do if you know, if you're a local. I got the Long Island duck there.
How's the duck?
Delicious. I don't think I'm going to order it again anytime soon, but it was delicious. And it was honestly beautiful and picturesque, unlike the hot dogs. And I'm sorry, you can cover it with chili. You can cover it with their signature relish, which, God, I mean, I keep that stuff in my fridge. It's so good. And again, sometimes really delicious foods are ugly, and this is a case. Another story. I was going to get a hot dog. I was going to get a Ripper tattoo. I wanted to get, and I was like, I love Rippers, signature New Jersey food. And then I looked at it, I was like, I don't know if I want this on my body.
Brown food makes weird tattoos.
And I have a friend a tattoo artist who did a really, really excellent Ripper tattoo. Like, it was really accurate. She did an excellent job. And I'm glad I didn't get it. Not because it's not good. It's because I don't want that on my body. They're gross. I'm sorry. And the vibe at Rutts Hut's amazing. The dining room is fancier than you realize. The more casual area, I love how it's very workaday workman, like no frills vibe. Even though they now have I don't know if have you seen the digital menu they have at Rutts Hut now?
Yeah, a digital menu.
Yeah, just it's they're coming in the 21st century, but not their hot dogs. Have you ever had a cremator?
What's a cremator?
A cremator is a Ripper that's been in there so long that it starts to get like charred and black.
Is it not fried in oil? It's just fried in hot dogs that have been in there too long? Is that what happens? Eventually they just break down chemically and become oil?
I don't think the contents of that oil is for public consumption.
Fair
All
enough.
I know is the one time my buddy tried to order a cremator, the guy said, "Hey kid, you don't want none of this." And that's absolutely true.
Is it a Dick Tracy villain just
Yeah,
behind the counter at Rutts?
I think that when you make cremators, when you're naming a food item after something that's used to dispose of bodies.
Is it named that on the menu, or is that like a colloquial?
Colloquial.
Okay,
colloquial.
that's why.
Kind of like if you get a Marvis, it's a Yoo-hoo soda, which I love very, very much. Yahoo soda.
I'm just going to start making up things. Give me an Evil Knievel and just see what they bring me.
Rutts Hut, we love you so much. Your hot dogs are delicious. They're not so easy on the eyes. Nick, you got number 8.
Number 8, near and dear to my heart, recently reopened Fairytale Forest. Give it up. Fairytale Forest, specifically, like, I don't know how big it is because as a kid, it seemed like it was enormous. It's probably just like maybe an acre of land.
What exactly? I've never been there.
Oh my God.
It's in Oak Ridge, right?
Fairytale Forest, yeah, gigantic outdoor. The things that shouldn't be outdoors have been outdoors there since the 50s. It's just paper mache fairy tale characters, paper mache just left out in the rain, and then actual taxidermied animals. There's a diorama of like a classroom, and it's just bunny rabbits in the classroom. There's a teacher and a bunch of students, all actual animals that have been stuffed and dressed up in little clothes, and then you hit a button and some of them kind of like do this. There's like a little bit of movement, and it's horrendous. And as a kid, like, we'd go on field trips, and then in around Christmas time they decorate it and you can walk around, but it's all outside. There's nothing inside, so you're freezing cold and just walking around. And it's incredible. The gift shop is just pendants that have been like merch from the 50s, and then just a barrel of rabbit's feet. Which is, it's
like
very
like Lucky Rabbit's feet.
like keychains.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
I thought meant
yes.
just like chopped off,
Well,
like thrown in
that's
the
what
bucket.
those are.
Okay, yeah,
they're just
I guess.
dyed red and white and
God.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
I've never been to Fairytale Forest. I don't know if I ever want to go to Fairytale
gotta
Forest. Okay, if you've convinced me, Nick. It kind of sounds like Disney on an acid trip, in a bad way. I don't know if I'd want to do acid at Disney.
Yeah, definitely eccentric millionaire's backyard vibes.
I was reading up that German immigrant Paul Wohl Sr., not Paul Wall, Paul Wohl Sr. started the park, building it in 1953. It was based on the Brothers Grimm fairy tale and has now expanded to scenes from other classic fairy tales. Gotta give him credit for creativity and, dedication, committing to the bit, but it sounds like nightmare fuel.
It's pretty great. The old woman that lived in the shoe exhibit, if you could call it, you just peer inside an old paper mache shoe and there's just like weird kids' faces in there.
My goodness.
It's amazing.
If I ever go there, I got to go there with you because I feel like you'd be an excellent tour
We'll
guide.
hop the fence later.
My number 7 is one of my personal favorites, and there's levels to this one, the Meadowlands. The Meadowlands is a massive sports complex built on a thriving ecosystem, and it is now a giant cement wasteland. Still there, you can find multiple sporting facilities like Izod Center, which was built in 1981, and Lord, does it look like it. It was the former home of Seton Hall basketball and the New Jersey Nets, and now it's vacant and mostly used for when live tours are in town and they're rehearsing there. It's I think I saw the Harlem Globetrotters there once, and
Oh, definitely.
yeah, it's very, very late '90s, early aughts, and it just, I mean, I know the Devils had great runs there. They won Stanley Cups there. It is just so, it's such a like, it's stuck in time, like in the '80s, even though it was, I mean, I guess they updated it or whatever, but it was built in '81. MetLife Stadium, on the other hand, built much more recently than that. And I'm sorry, I'm a Giants fan. I hate MetLife Stadium. It is the most generic, ugly, boring use of $1 billion ever. You look at other stadiums in the NFL and you see what they get, and they have, you know, glass arches and retractable roofs, and this is an air conditioner. It's giant, gray, boring. To say nothing about the football that's being played there. It's hideous. And the World Cup final is being played there in 2026.
I cannot wait.
The entire world is going to be centered on one of the ugly places in New Jersey, which I take great pride in. I don't think I'll be here for it because it's going to be a zoo, but I mean, the Meadowlands. What are your thoughts on the Meadowlands?
Highlight of my life was the 15 to 20 years that the escalator to nowhere was being built. That before the American Dream was there.
We didn't even talk about Xanadu.
Oh my God! The outer rim of the Meadowlands flea market on a Saturday, where the fringe folk are selling like just a tire and a lamp with no bulb. You can still. I have family that like kayak in the water and birdwatch and stuff like that. But like first concert was there. I saw dog dancing at the Meadowlands Expo Center. Yeah, awesome.
Dog dancing.
Dog dancing.
Yeah. It's just so wild to me, and I look. My family lives in Cedar Grove. I live in Jersey City. I drive by the Meadowlands all the time. Was that American Dream? Not for a story recently. They really turned Xanadu, whatever it was. It was so ugly, and it's turned into. It looks like an Avengers facility now. It's like it's pretty nice looking, I gotta say, and it's a nice mall.
Yeah, and it's like almost invisible because it's almost the same grayish color as the sky on like a foggy day, so you almost don't notice it, and then you're like, oh, a Ferris wheel, and then I was there for the first time this past weekend, and I figured out how to park, and I'm not even in the mall yet, and I just saw a family of 4, 2 parents, two kids, young kids, and they're practically in tears because they're lost, and they asked me for directions, and I was just like, bah, and I just left. I think they're dead.
Of course you did. I have a weird appreciation for American Dream. I don't have an appreciation for MetLife. And it's so weird to me that there's this massive sports complex that they built on literally a thriving ecosystem on the Meadowlands. And you can still go on a swamp. I mean, Jimmy Hoffa is apparently buried there, right?
I don't know nothing about that.
Nick, you're up with number 6.
Number 6, the intersection of Route 23, Route 46, and Route 80. If New Jersey was a video game and that was the opening level where you're going to choose your path, those are the 3 highways that lead you to 3 very, very, very different places in New Jersey. Like 23 will take you all the way up towards like Mount Fuji, which if you haven't, Mount Fuji, I guess that's technically New York.
Not in Japan, but yes.
Brought over brick by brick to be rebuilt in a mountain with a windy, narrow road that if you up in the wintertime, you're going to die. It's amazing. Okay, Hibachi. And then 46 will take you either to Lincoln Tunnel, or if you just take 46 west long enough, it becomes like a 2-lane local road into the middle of nowhere. And then Route 80 is just this monolith that takes you from literally coast to coast. And the nexus of those 3 has a Thomas's English Muffins factory on it that just smells like blueberries year round. It's great.
It is the 7th ring of hell, man. I grew up. I mean, you grew up not far from there. Yeah. I grew up not far. I learned how to drive around there, man, and that was terrifying. To this day, going to Willowbrook Mall, I take the back roads because I want to avoid this crossroads of New Jersey hell.
And I'll lean in. My record's 4 minutes door to door.
You're such a real one. It's such a classic Jersey thing, a confusing highway. And I mean, 46 and 80 are 2 of the big old ones. You summed it up nicely, man. I avoid it at all costs. It can take you anywhere or nowhere, probably nowhere. But for number 5, also involving a road. Lots of these involve roads, lots of highways in Jersey. Number 5 is the IKEA cafeteria in Elizabeth, right by Newark Airport. I love this place. Anytime I'm at IKEA buying cheap furniture, I have to swing by to get some meatballs and some lingonberries, and I will always park myself right by the window so I can watch planes at Newark Airport taking off and landing, and also get a nice view of the turnpike and get a nice view of the Port Newark container terminal. It makes me feel like I'm in the season 2 of The Wire. It's such a bizarre combination of things. I was like, how did all these things end up next to each other.
It's literally planes, trains, and automobiles. It's you
Well
have the
said.
you have like I think the Newark port is stunningly beautiful, just with the cranes moving and the multicolored like storage containers, and then you just have all this crazy traffic, and then Newark Airport. It's outstanding, and I will go. It's the equivalent of like when Wayne and Garth are laying on the hood of their car just watching planes go overhead. Like it's it's one of my favorite things. I make it a point to go, like a couple times a year, and just eat there.
Dude, I want, even if I'm not hungry when I go there, I'm doing it because I'm just so fascinated. And sometimes I'll see kids with their parents doing the same thing, and it's just like, yeah, it's pretty cool that something like this, so bizarre, it's a nexus of technology and commerce and transportation, is right next to a spot that I'm going to buy a dresser.
And also, like, isn't the weird AMC in Jersey Gardens like right behind that?
I avoid that place, bro.
Oh, I was the only person not in the theater, not in my theater, in the entire like
Complex?
30-screen theater. I was the only person in there once to see Alien. It was so cool.
By yourself.
It was like the back rooms. It was like the level 1 of Doom. It was crazy. I was the only person there.
The life you live, man.
It was great.
You got number 4, man.
Number 4, Martell's Tiki Bar in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Beautiful Point Pleasant, New Jersey. The Martell's is, in and of itself, is just a beautiful neon, like little like eighth of a mile Vegas strip on the Point Pleasant boardwalk, which is very family friendly, very like got their aquarium, pretty much only kids rides, a lot of games, and then you just have Martell's, which in the summertime, Mondays from, this is like an ad, Mondays from noon to 5 is Tiki Monday at Martell's, where it's also known as Strippers and Clippers.
Strippers and Clippers?
Because I heard that
Strippers come up again?
Well, it's because I think a lot of the salons and gentlemen's clubs are closed on Mondays. This is what I've heard, probably wrong. And they all go there from noon to 5. And there's like to say there's a DJ is an understatement. There's like a crazy DJ and sometimes a saxophone player and fog machines. It's a club. It's insanity. I've never not seen someone get dragged out before 1 p.m. It is unreal. It's the only place it's acceptable to drink a Long Island iced tea. You get them there. It's the thing to do. It's so much fun. My friend had a VIP card for a while, so we could cut the line. But now they crack down on that because I think too many people. But it's great. It's great.
I have not spent a whole lot of time there. The most recent visit to Martell's, I was there. It was Memorial Day weekend 2021, and it was COVID restrictions had just been eased. It felt like we were getting back to, well, I mean, don't give me that look, man. I was there the summer before when they were not eased and they were not abiding by those rules, and I got some death threats when they didn't like my reporting. But I went there when things were safer, and I was in line at Martell's, and I was like, it's not my scene, but it's cool. Let me check it out. And I just remember this. I don't know if it was a bachelorette party or just a party. A bunch of women wearing different colored wigs. And I was just like, I'm so happy we're here. I'm like, what a beautiful way. It was rainy and it was cold and no one cared because people wanted to party that bad. And Martell's it's just such a scene. It's the kind of place that even if you don't like going to bars like that, even if you don't like going to bars, you got to try it once. You got to, it's a quintessential Jersey experience.
Yeah, and they won't sell you a shot and a beer.
Really? They don't do Boilermakers?
One drink at a time. You animals. They won't do it.
But you're a bartender,
Mm-hmm.
and you give permission to have a Long Island iced tea at this bar.
I mean, I'm also a scumbag who goes to Martell's at noon on a Monday. So yeah, do what I do. Follow me off a cliff. Go ahead.
I've never had a Long Island iced tea, and I think I found my place to have my first one.
Anytime. They open in April.
Oh, can't wait. Counting down the days. Number 3 for me is the beach at Atlantic City. Oh, Atlantic City, AC. I'm on the beach in Atlantic City at least once a year when we do the beach rankings, and every time I go there, I'm trying to glean some positivity, trying to see if it's gotten better. And I will say that the beach itself has gotten a little bit cleaner than it used to be, but there is just something so dystopian and depressing about being in the sand, less than pristine sand, surrounded by billboards for Bet MGM Grand and Snoop Dogg selling whatever, and stuff falling into the ocean because Atlantic City is in disarray and decline, and it's just like the Jersey Shore is so beautiful, and we love Cape May, might come up later. We love Asbury Park, blah blah blah, and it's just like this. I pity people that when they're like, I want to go to the beach, I'm going to Atlantic City. She's like, yes, you can gamble right on the boardwalk, and yes, you can go see a show, and yes, you're going to see bachelor parties and European tourists and grandmas at the penny slots all in one place. But there's just so many better beaches.
I don't think I've ever been on the actual sand in Atlantic City. My first memory of there was I was in college. I went to college in Staten Island, and me and my roommate we were drinking one night, and we flash forward. We time traveled and woke up in Atlantic City. To get there from Staten Island, you need to take 6 modes of transportation. We woke up there at like 3 a.m. on a blackjack table, just kind of like confused, wearing all of our coats. And then the only thing we could find to eat, there was like one hot dog place that was open that boasted 35-cent hot dogs. And it was a striped hot dog. Like it had yellow and grayish stripes on it. It looked like it had bones.
I think we found a hot dog grosser than a Ripper. Oh,
yeah,
man, wait.
No clue.
I must say, I was one of the most recent times I was on the sand in Atlantic City was for Adjacent, the music festival, and it was awesome. It was really great. But I wasn't there for a beach. I wasn't there for that experience. I was there for music, and the music was good. So I'm not going to give the Atlantic City Beach credit for that. I'm going to give Haley Williams and Paramore credit for that. But yeah, I will be back there again when we do the beach rankings in the summer, and I will once again hope to, enjoy myself. But there's just something so disorienting for me about the juxtaposition of decay and sand.
I do also miss the Wild Wild West Casino in Bally's with the animatronic cowboys. There was just a guy panning for gold, which is just a perfect symbol of how you're going to leave that place, just shoeless and trying to find some crumbs in the water.
Exactly. Nick, you're speaking of the water. You got number 2.
Number 2, I didn't know the actual name of it. I just knew it as the concrete ship in Cape May.
It is the wreck of the SS Atlantis.
I love it. I know it as the concrete ship because that's what it's called on the menu at the Mad Batter in Cape May. It has a map that is not to scale. Do not try to navigate by that map. It is not accurate at all. But the concrete ship just was an idea that I don't think they were ever launched. I don't think they were ever used.
No. According to my research, the concrete ship, the SS Atlantis, it was built in Georgia during World War I, and it was used to transport American troops home from Europe, but it proved too heavy for those. Yeah, it's concrete.
Imagine getting on that, and that's your way home for World War II. That's the only way home. So you can stay here in Normandy, or you can get on this concrete boat and go across the Atlantic.
And this was after the Titanic, right? We've learned something. They don't make the boat out of concrete.
Concrete, which being from New Jersey, we know how concrete's got a shelf life of 3 years, before it's just pot. And the one thing that corrodes it more than anything is the salt from the plow. So the ocean's probably a great move. But yeah, just seeing it stick up from Cape, it's in that part of Cape May that's not really near a bunch of homes or houses. The lighthouse. It's in this little secluded kind of beach.
Sunset Beach, right?
Sunset Beach. There's there's a gift shop that's got a dolphin fountain. But the dolphin just always kind of looks like it's just kind of like a little sick because it just gurgles a little. I love the concrete ship, and there's always people just fishing. I've never seen anyone catch anything, but there's always people fishing right by it. And there's an insane rip curl that just gathers all the empty Gatorade bottles and trash and just makes them go in this little turbine. And
we're talking about Cape May, which has been named the #1 beach in New Jersey multiple times. It's a beautiful beach, but there's one section right by that concrete ship that on June 8th, 1926 was hit by a storm and broke free from its moorings and ran aground.
Oh, the water broke the ship. Cool. Great.
My favorite part of this ship is that there was once, I don't know if it's still there used to be a boat insurance billboard painted onto the shipwreck. That's just clever advertising, people. There's something about shipwrecks, man. There's just it makes you feel like you're kind of like a pirate or at a mini golf course or something.
The temptation to swim out to it is insane. And it's kind of crazy because Cape May, I go there once a year, and I've always seen dolphins. The water's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's always
scenic.
It's incredible. But I know that there's rebar and there's concrete in that thing, and it's every year it gets smaller and smaller. And eventually it's not going to be visible, and people are still going to go and call it the concrete ship, even after it's long gone, because that's what we do. We shackle ourselves to tradition here. If there was an ugly thing, we're going to go long after it's going to be
We're never going to forget it.
Yeah, the ugly thing used to be here.
The ugly thing used to be here. The title of my memoir. And it's, man, I next time I'm down in Cape May, I really got to check it out. It's going away because the sea is rising. Is that what's that? Or is it breaking down?
Was corroding.
I want to blame global warming for it. No, we can blame that for everything.
Well, I know they dumped a bunch of sand on the beach to I think they've been rebuilding, for lack of a better term, restoring the shore.
Yeah.
They've been doing that. But also on the way there is the Cape May filling station, which is a gas station.
Oh, yes.
Where one time I bought Santa Claus dinner. Santa Claus was there drinking a strawberry milkshake by himself.
Was it on Christmas or?
No, summertime. And it's just like, I want Santa's tab.
And my great coworker Pete Genovese has written about the filling station many times. Excellent restaurant.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, last one.
Can't wait.
Number one. This was when we decided to come up with this podcast episode. This was the first place that came to mind for me. It's the Bayway Refinery. It's kind of low hanging fruit or low hanging gas. I don't know whatever you're gonna call it. It's not just breathtakingly ugly. You have to hold your breath when you drive by on the turnpike because it smells terrible.
I breathe in deep. I'll take it.
Of course,
it's like eating breakfast.
That is a New Jersey. Let me get a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, and some gas from the refinery.
Did your friends have a nickname for that smell in high school?
No, they did. What was yours?
We used to call it was like not butterscotch. It was like I forget what we all thought it smelled like caramel. It smelled like weird candy.
It smells like death to me, but I admire your palate or your sense of smell. It's located in Linden and Elizabeth, and it is actually the northernmost refinery on the East Coast, refining crude oil into gasoline.
That's what it does.
Yeah,
this whole time.
Here's my thing. When people think like armpit of America, I think this is what they're thinking about because it's right on the turnpike. It's not far from Newark Airport. Like, there's a very good chance when you land in Jersey, you're driving past this thing. And I'm sorry, like it doesn't look like even compared to the other ugly things on this list. This is especially ugly. And look, I know it's important. I know we need to refine these things to drive our cars and make our Taylor ham or whatever. But man, sometimes I'll be driving by and at night, and one of the towers is flaming, and I'm like,
the eternal flame.
I was gonna say Mad Max New Jersey Road, but that works too. I was very interested to find out that John D. Rockefeller of Standard Oil originally acquired the land to build the refineries there. So there's a deep history of American industry right there in Union County, baby.
And it's our bouncer, basically. If you land in New Jersey and you don't like it and it tells you to hit the road, that's fine. That tells you something about yourself. Also, it looks like the part of the Death Star that Luke Skywalker blew up, doesn't it? Where it's just like spires coming out. I don't know what any of that stuff does, but it's basically an entire city that looks like pneumatic tubes, but I'm sure it's not. Like, shouldn't most of that be inside?
Probably.
Doesn't it look very much like it shouldn't just be hanging out next to the turnpike?
You veer off the road to like a little bit. It's, boom.
Nothing's ever happened.
Not yet.
Crap.
Well, there are lots of there have been environmental issues in the past. There's a laundry list of them.
And it smells like popcorn year round. Yeah, man.
Not supposed to happen. I love the drive safely sign on one of the big oil drums because, first of all, it's in soprano, so cool. Also, why do you think that writing a massive thing on the side of the road that I'm going to read and look at as I drive by is going to make me drive safer?
Because sarcasm is our love language in this state.
Well said. Nick, this has been a lot of fun. Before you go, though, you need to complete the Garden State Gauntlet.
Oh, no.
It's a series of rapid-fire questions. For you and only you, the theme will be Ugly New Jersey.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm not good at this. Go ahead.
I disagree. Ugliest city in New Jersey.
Ugliest city. Man, I don't want to say Cedar Grove because you're from there.
Dude, I'm from Montclair, baby.
Oh, okay.
Chris Gethard never lets me forget it.
Montclair.
Ugliest New Jersey food.
Ugliest New Jersey food. Ugly but delicious is the potato pancakes that I get at the deli in Bayonne. They're hideous, but they're delicious.
They also have a really good dessert there. You brought me some. What's it called?
I have the Krzyziki.
God, that stuff is delicious.
Alex and Terry's on 28th.
That's beautiful, though. Ugliest place you've ever done stand-up?
Ugliest place I've ever done stand-up is probably a backyard with a dead rat in it.
What was the rat's name?
I didn't kill the rat. It had been there already.
Okay. Ugliest thing you've ever seen as a bartender? You're a bartender at Lucky Sevens in Jersey City?
A guy came in. I don't know how our bouncer let him in. He had some trouble that night, and he was covered in everything that should be on the inside. He just looked like he'd rolled in SpaghettiOs and came into the bar, and then he fell asleep in our bathroom, and we had to get him out, and no one wanted to touch him. And he just kind of came through the crowd like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man if he was made out of just peanut butter and Doritos. It was disgusting. It was very upsetting. Very upsetting.
If you had to get married at one ugly New Jersey place, where would it be?
Oh man, I technically did because the Brownstone catered my wedding, but it was upstate.
Last question. We'll end on a high note. What's the most beautiful place in New Jersey?
Oh man, I feel biased in saying the Liberty Science Center. I live right by it. I look out the window and I just see the train go by, and I see the neon pyramid, and I'm just like,
You ever get stuck in the touch tunnel?
I don't want that to be a headline, so no.
All right, Nick, that's a wrap on this episode of Jersey's Best Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Nick. You can find where can people find you? Where can people see you? Socials, events. Well, I know you're at a bunch of amazing comedy shows in Jersey City and stuff.
Yeah, NickFierro.com has a bunch of links. Shtick Fierro on all platforms, This Friday I'll be at a Hooters in South Plainfield, but.
Well, follow Nick. His comedy, I mean, as you can tell,
have fun.
If you listen to this podcast, you know how funny he is.
I'll give you a ride.
He'll give you a ride, too. Thank you very much to our audio producer, James Shapiro, our video producer, Dwayne Uzaro, and, of course, our executive producer, Bobby Olivier. If you have any questions, episode ideas, guest suggestions, thoughts at all, anything, I want to hear from you, please email us at jerseysbestpodcast@gmail.com. Please like us, subscribe us, leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. We're a new podcast. We're trying to make this pop off, and the more reviews and likes and blah, blah, blah you can give us, the better. Tune in again next week for the latest episode of Jersey's Best Podcast. And remember, Jersey forever.